I look forward to this Sunday's Vengeance TakeOver, which should be, if you look at the card, spectacular. When you lay these out, as we've talked about a lot, the card comes into shape, and as you begin to see what it's going to be, I think it gets more and more exciting, especially given the time right now where anything can happen at any given moment. But this card really came alive when you talk about, for me, for a lot of people, I think what would be considered almost a dream match scenario, sort of between Kushida and Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. Johnny coming into his own as a completely different performer and showing a totally different side of himself with his group, with Austin and indie wrestling and Candice, and just a whole different side of himself, showing how well-rounded of a performer he really is. Sort of a dream match scenario, though, between those two. MSK, brand new, but making a really strong run and a hell of a statement so far on their way in the door with grizzled young veterans who have been together for a while. And if you've watched NXT UK, know what they bring to the table. COVID certainly put a damper on them coming into the company and into NXT in the US in the way that we wanted them to, but here they are now, and I think will make a huge impact. And that match, I think, is going to turn a lot of people's heads as far as what both teams can do. You have the Women's Dusty Cup for the first year ever. That boiling down to Shotzi and Ember, Dakota and Raquel. The winner will not only become the first ever Dusty Cup champions, but also will receive a future tag title shot. I think this match again speaks to the strength and the depth of the women's division in NXT, knowing that you not only have these four, but you also later in the show have the NXT Women's Championship with Io, Toni Storm, and Mercedes Martinez, three of, again, in that group of the best, in that whole group, you could say, some of the best in-ring female performers in the world. Almost half of this card in its entirety is made up of women. Look at the depth behind them. The division's incredible and only getting stronger. Even the current class coming in to the Performance Center, this rookie class coming in very soon. It's the largest female class we've had in history. So that it just really speaks to the commitment and where we're going with our female performers, and just seeing them as exactly that, as performers, as nothing else, and really trying to strengthen that even further. So of course that triple threat for the Women's Championship should be spectacular with all three of them. Mercedes Martinez coming back in, Toni Storm reinventing herself and really bringing up the side of her game, so to speak, that she has never really had the opportunity to show before. And of course, Io is Io, and I've stated that many times, to me, one of the best performers in the world, bar none. And then Finn Balor and Pete Dunne to the NXT Championship. Finn really coming into his own in NXT and just showing a whole nother side of himself as he, always had the ability to. And then Pete coming back here to the U.S. again. Bit of a delay in the COVID world of where we wanted to go, but here we are. And this one, to me, I can't wait to watch. This is going to be something special. Those two will tear it up. Every match on the card has the ability to be a show stealer, my opinion. So I think it's going to be a spectacular night. As usual, we will have a pre-show leading into that. We will have a special guest as part of the kickoff show this week, with Brandon Walker from Barstool Sports coming in to be a part of that. Very excited to have Brandon in, and give a different perspective on this and get his take on it. And I look forward to being able to do more of that in the future and really get different perspectives and point of view leading into these shows and analysis of what's happening and where it's going. Return has been done really, really well, and he really is in a place in his mind where he wants to build young and just get them rolling in different directions. So he has been talking to me since prior to coming back the first time to the Royal Rumble over a year ago, of coming to NXT and not only stepping in the ring and talking, but stepping in the ring and performing. And, you know, prior to him even coming to the Rumble, he sort of kind of gave me oof, man, here's my list. I'd like to work with this guy. I'd like to work with him. I would love to come here and work with this person. You know, it's just where he's at. You know, that youth is exciting, that their enthusiasm, their passion for this, their drive, their desire. And I think, man, when he came to NXT, seems like months ago now, but it was, I guess, 2 weeks ago. I could, you know, just knowing him so well, I could see the smile on his face all day as he went around and was just talking to these guys and girls, and it's awesome to see. So I don't think any of it is beyond the realm of possibility. You saw it last year with Charlotte. I think you see it this year with him playing things across the board, whether that be, you know, McIntyre or Roman and or Finn, Pete, whoever it is. I think that all those things are on the table, but one way or the other, depending on where WrestleMania goes, beyond that, I think there's ability for him to come to NXT and sort of use his star power to, one, help them and kind of elevate, but also for him to have sort of that final few chapters of his career the way he wants to have them and with the people he wants to have them with. So I'm excited for that, and luckily he's that's something he's not only willing to do, but really pushing hard to do. My thoughts on it are that it's great. You know, you come into the place with WrestleMania where, with so many brands, with Raw, you know, a big roster of Raw, a big roster of SmackDown, a large roster of NXT, that you get to just a certain place where how big and how long do you want these shows to be? And everybody is sort of, you know, putting their chips on the table, so to speak, for their spot in Mania. As always, that's the big spot of the year. Not everybody can be in those spots, obviously, and I think everybody understands that, but that's the battle. And it's a balance, is my opinion. You know, I just think that you have to balance that out, but I love having them be a part of it. If you tell me that NXT gets to be a part of the biggest stage in the game and the biggest spectacle, it's phenomenal. It just helps the brand, and it helps continue to drive it forward. It's just a matter of how much can you fit into WrestleMania now weekend, and you know, what is the benefit to having its own platform of an NXT TakeOver that week? You know, it's a balance, but I love it if we can do it.